Welcome to Wicker Biscuit's first annual New Year's episode.
We were so excited to welcome in the new year and say adios to 2023. It became a whole two-parter.
Technically 3.
Ooh, doggy. Well, since there's so much to digest, let's get cracking.
Please enjoy part 1 of our 2-part New Year's episode.
Yay!
All right, hello and welcome everyone to our New Year's episode of Wicker Biscuit. Woohoo! All right.
Insert party horns.
Nice. Thank you. Let's go around the table and see who we got on for guest today. Can I start over here? We have
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
This is Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Jay.
Hey, Jay. And then we got our Zoom buddies.
Leah.
Leah. Hey, Leah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Courtney from the infirmary.
Courtney from the infirmary. Courtney has the COVID.
The Coves.
That is really the gift that just does keep on giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure does.
And as always, there's host Gary. So hello, everyone. Okay, guess. Let's hear it. How are things going for everyone?
Pretty
I'm seeing
darn
some
I've had
nods.
better days.
Better days.
It's wild because, thinking about just our holiday episode, and we're deep in the holidays now.
Yes, we are. But that's
Well,
why
Some
we
might
just-
say boughs of holly deep into the holidays.
Oh. I am a sucker for puns and especially holiday puns. So bring it. That's what I say.
Last episode I talked about how I wasn't quite in the spirit for Christmas, but
There was rumors of a Grinchometer.
yes, and I think I was that Grinch for a little bit, but I wasn't an active Grinch, I should say.
You're a passive Grinch.
Yeah, like I just wanted to sit on my mountain, I guess, and look out over Whoville. I don't know. But I wasn't like angry. I don't know.
Just observing.
But we've realized that my entire office, it looks like someone has like vomited Christmas over every cubicle, every wall. I can't believe how many decorations there are. I think half the stock of the Dollar Tree is in my office at work right now. And every day there's more. There's literally a team member who is gifting people every day something that's crocheted. Yesterday was a Christmas tree of buttons. And it won't stop.
Hopefully not potato buttons.
So now I think I'm on the opposite side of it. I'm not a Grinch. I'm grateful, but I'm drowning in Christmas now.
You need a Christmas life
Waterboarded by
I
Christmas.
gave all my coworkers back scratchers for Christmas.
Yes.
And when I said I got everyone presents, they were all like, I'm like, chill. They were $1.50 each. Everyone's fine. And then when I gave them to them, that's all I've still to this day. Oh, that back scratcher is so great. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. That was such a great idea.
The gift of the year.
Did it have the extendable handle?
Yeah.
The telescoping.
Yep.
Yeah,
those are
That's
the best.
fancy.
That is nice.
yeah.
No, I'd be right there with them. That's a very nice thing to do.
Gary has purchased many back scratchers.
Yeah, and then they either get lost or mostly broken because they'll turn into like a child's toy sword thing. Or
We used to have, we still have ones that are like, it's like a bear claw.
yes,
And I liked that one the best. But then when I couldn't find any more like that, I bought ones that were more like a garden thingy. And now I don't like the bear claw one as much. It's weird.
it's crazy because I had the identical situation. I had the bear claw one, which I loved, but then Amanda got me one that's like the rake style.
Yep.
And then one day when I found the bear claw one again, I'm like, I want my rake.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
But it was fun.
I have to circle back to the holiday episode.
Yeah.
I listened to it, and Ryan mentioned not liking the Christmas shoes song. I thought, what is this song? And it didn't ring a bell, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that song. Fuck that song. It's awful. It's awful. But when I was Googling it, I discovered there is a movie based off of it.
Oh, no.
Starring Rob Lowe.
Go figure.
He must have
You
needed
guys didn't know
money.
that part? Yeah, it's like a Hallmark movie. Or
I mean,
something.
it's
terrible.
I want it to be a good story, but it's just
It's
not.
not.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in the hospital, all of the many times that's happened, I've never once thought, gosh, I wish my kid would bring me some shoes.
Laying in a hospital bed and can't walk, but God, I love some shoes.
God, I don't know why he's so selfish.
It's
That's
coming
the
from
problem here.
Yeah.
It's not that I need medical treatment. It's just
I
lack
want
of
some
shoes.
right. I just want some shoes.
Obviously, your kid did not care enough that this might be the end.
Well, no, he was like, I'm just gonna let her be there, and I'm gonna go give her her hugs and tell her I love her and not give her any footwear.
Do
Well,
people?
You've got grippy socks. Isn't
I
that
was just
enough?
gonna say, I was just
Yeah,
gonna bring up the
by
grippy
your
socks. I was totally going to.
So, okay, but that was technically it wasn't while she was in bed. It was before.
Sure.
So the thought still counts, but I get like groggy Amanda being like, "Where's my footwear, fuckers?" Anyway, somebody was saying something.
Well, I was just gonna say, what do you do at home for the holiday season when you're working from home? Like, what do people like decorate their own desk, or do they like? I don't
Well,
know.
Carl, we have a tree in our living room that doesn't have any ornaments on it.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I saw the tree. It's beautiful.
It is.
Is that how it's gonna just be?
no.
Oh,
In theory, it will
It's
get
not.
My rule is typically if it's like by December 10th, I don't have stuff up. It's not going up.
Yeah.
and then if a couple does work from home, they're pretty much gonna give gifts to each other. So I guess that's their Secret Santa exchange.
Well,
Yeah.
Amanda works
have
at.
a Secret Santa?
Well, first of all, it'd be between
I
me
don't
and
get any
Ruggles.
Secret Santa. Anyway.
Because Amanda goes into the office now.
No one's giving me
Amanda has
gifts.
an office.
Oh, that's nice.
She'll sometimes work from home, but it's very rare. So my home buddy is Ruggles.
Okay,
and
but when I did work from home, you never did Secret Santa with me.
HIPAA rules got in the way.
Damn it.
Well,
I know,
and, like,
right?
we're doing like an unsanctioned one, so it's not like official work one right
We
now.
could have done an unsanctioned one.
And
And
like,
that only would have violated HIPAA rules, and who cares about that?
True.
but you know what happens with unsanctioned ones?
Fill me in.
It's just like everything else, chaos. Like if there's no rules or like guidelines. So some people are doing it old school. I'm literally getting candy and like mixed nuts on my desk every day right now.
Ooh.
I'm like,
You just bring any home for me.
I'm going to buy something, that one gift for the end. I'm not going to do a daily.
Oh, they're doing like the 12 days of Christmas kind of thing.
yeah.
He's got time for that.
So the
So-
mix,
That's
are the
too
mixed
much.
nuts already like shelled?
Well, yeah. It's a
So you
nice
don't need a
container.
nutcracker for
And I'm
it?
like, but the-
Variety of men resting their testicles on his desk.
yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, so now between Secret Santa and the, random trinkets that are showing up on my desk, like I said, I'm covered in Christmas. But maybe I'll have to bring it.
Just realized
Yeah.
today is St. Lucia Day.
Oh my god.
Are you gonna put a candle on your head?
No, it's too late. That's a morning thing. You're supposed to do breakfast.
Oh,
So
Also, would I do it for my dog? I totally would actually. Like
You
I
should
would
have done it for your
only
dog.
do that if it was to serve my dog breakfast.
Leah, we so at the UU in Eau Claire, we're set
The
up.
Unitarian Universalist.
We
For those listeners who don't know what UU is.
we have our banquet table set up for we call it the Festival of Lights, but it's basically encompassing all of the holidays of all the season, and we'll end up lighting these this weekend for our Festival of Lights. And I couldn't stop staring at it because they set it up the other day, and right on the end closest to where I was sitting was the Advent wreath, and I was trying to figure out how you'd get that on your head.
She had a tiny head back then.
It's some danger. Yeah.
Not only put it on your head, but light it ablaze as well.
I'm
They'll walk
also
around.
I'm also concerned because I'm pretty sure I'm either lighting it for either the winter solstice or Christmas Eve, and I don't know that I'm not gonna burst out laughing while I'm lighting this candle.
It's the power of Jesus. The
Very excited about that for you.
Holy Spirit
Also,
just
the
moved
6th
you.
day of-
What do I have to wear?
A white robe with a red sash.
Okay.
There you go. I thought it was a gold sash.
I know, I'm pretty sure I said gold before, but when I was looking it up on the interwebs, I think it said red.
Oh, good.
I
No,
think I've seen- I
I'm
think
glad
I've
that we
seen
have
some
clarification for our listeners. Thank
What-
you.
What
I
fabric
think
is
the
your
sash
robe?
color changes where you look, but it's always a white robe.
But
Always
like
white
what
robe.
kind of a white robe?
I'm picturing one
Like a
like
fluffy
altar boys would
bathrobe?
wear, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or
Oh.
like the angel children would wear for like midnight mass.
Yeah.
Oh. Not a fluffy
You know
bathrobe.
what? I just thought, there's Halloween, the horror movie, and then now there's Thanksgiving. We need to make a horror movie about Christmas called Midnight Massacre, and it probably already exists. But I just thought of that when she said the angel children of Midnight Mass. I'm like, massacre.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm gonna have to look.
I want one
need
that's
to know.
like for Arbor Day, you know?
There's like a sentient tree that's
Like
out
the
there,
tree
or
comes-
like
yeah.
a tree,
Maybe.
somebody who's planting trees and they've just had enough.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're in
it was
there.
a TV program.
not
We could
letting
have it
them
be Johnny
spread their
Appleseed.
roots.
Johnny Appleseed comes and murders
much.
everyone.
Oh my.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut that from the pod because we don't want anybody else taking this idea.
Blood makes the trees grow.
Hey, Rob Lowe, do you want to do our?
It's a great movie about a sweet tree.
Just so you know, Midnight Massacre was released in 2023.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
So
directed by
we
Travis Bowen.
Just missed it.
Damn it. All right. All right. Well, who's ready to get scooting?
Boot Scoot and Boogie?
Yeah, of course. All right, let's get cracking. We're going to go into our segment. Segment 1 is our year in review. So now, obviously, we can't go over every single thing that happened, but I picked out a couple things that either I thought were just interesting, sort of moments, and other things that I found that I honestly didn't hear about. So I'm like, I want to hear what you guys think and see if you heard about it. So some of the big ones I kind of stayed away from because we don't want anything too heavy. But here we go. So first on the list, I've got January 10th. So right at the beginning of the year, we had Prince Harry published his book, Spare, a memoir of the royal family.
I mean,
I completely forgot that happened because it had no impact on my life.
I was going to say, does anyone have any strong feelings about the British royal family?
There was like a whole
I
section
mean,
about.
I stupid low-key adore that. Like, I love the pageantry of it, but
To me, it was more just like, I felt like that was so long ago. And I'm like, because it had no impact on my life. I'm like, I don't care about the royal family. I don't follow any of it. But anyway.
Did he write it, or did he have like one of those people that helps to write it?
Like a
Probably
ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
it was
I'm guessing
both.
so.
Well, there's a
actually.
whole section about his foreskin and like having to
What?
put lotion on it. So I hope someone didn't
What in
make
the
that
world?
up.
What?
Yes.
Well, and that's, I
Because
think,
it was his mom's lotion.
Right?
On his penis?
Yeah, I heard about
What?
that.
Why? What kind of like?
As I'm saying, I don't care at all. I did actually hear that story.
well, I think that's the part of, like, the idea of this book was to show how crazy life is as being part of the institution.
Is he working on this with his therapist?
So he was in the Arctic and he got like some frostbite down south. And they had this lotion that fixed it and he had to put it on his wee-wee. But it smelled like the exact lotion his mom used as a kid. So he's like, it's really weird because I was touching myself and having flashbacks of my mom.
Oh. Okay, that was like very different in my head of what was happening with the lotion.
He was not masturbating
and
with
his
it.
penis.
Okay.
I was, like, intrigued by the older woman he hooked up with behind the pub. That was interesting to me. Like,
That part I don't know about. Fill me in.
you
You guys
think
read this?
Do I? Yeah.
that was in the book. Like, it was an excerpt.
Have we read the book? Everybody?
I heard about the
No, he
penis
hasn't
thing
read
on a
the
talk
book.
show.
No.
Like he was on
Of
some
course, everybody heard
And
about
then
the
that-
penis thing on talk shows.
I think I've read enough about it on HuffPost. 'Cause
Okay.
I say Carl
It's a book review.
Carl is a like
news junkie.
news junkie, so like if there's a newspaper or an article within thumb's reach, he's go, oh, I gotta read it.
That's true.
I feel that.
But, like,
I mean, even potato buttons would give them newspapers. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Banish the monarchy. All right. In January.
Gary's the one who says, let's not get political.
we already decided that in 1776.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count if it's somebody else's government. All right. Next up, on January 20th, I had that Buzz Aldrin, the second man to step foot on the moon, married his partner. And the kick is, it was his 93rd birthday, and she was 62?
Wow.
Cradle Robin.
So when I read that, I'm like, I didn't even know that happened. Did any of you hear about that?
I hadn't the faintest.
I probably caught a headline of it.
I feel like I did tell you about it, but I don't remember any information that I read.
Do we feel she's too young?
Probably.
I think
Can they even relate
I
to
think-
each other?
I promise you, Gen Z thinks she's too young.
Maybe he gets like a relativity pass because time passes differently when you're in space.
Right.
Maybe there's some weird kind of math that'll
It
make
continued
it okay.
when he came back. We don't know. Has anyone else been on the moon that can tell us? Not in here.
Not in this
I mean,
room.
I'd like to scratch the surface a little further. Like, yeah, I like the love story. I'm a romantic, so I would love to know how they met.
You are a romantic.
You
There's
know?
no doubt about that.
I bet
Sure.
he sent her a postcard from the moon.
I meant it sincerely.
I'm thinking the last time
took
something
this long
romantic
time.
It took a
happened in my
long
house.
time.
Well, wait till you're 62.
Next on the list. Sorry. Any more to add on that?
No.
Okay. Next on the list, I had from March 9th, the U.S. record industry reported that for the first time since 1987, sales of vinyl records exceeded the sales of CDs. And as a vinyl junkie, first of all, I didn't hear that when it first happened, but woohoo to that.
Is 2023 when you got into vinyl? Is there some
No.
correlation?
He got a Burl Ives record for Christmas like 3 years ago from this guy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's a good one.
Okay, I don't remember. I just know we went to the record store a lot.
Yeah, we did that in 2022 a lot.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Leah, how many records do you own, do you think?
Oh,
I want to pretend she's
Counting
counting.
right now.
I'm like grouping them like 10, 20, 30, looking at my thing, like probably 100. Probably,
Nice.
Probably
Okay.
over, like a little over 100.
I'd probably have like 150 to 200.
I don't know what's.
I don't have anything quite that many, but like I was when everyone was putting their Spotify Wraps up, and I don't stream any music, so I really wanted to just take a picture of my CD shelf and be like, "Here's mine. This is what I streamed this year.
I like it.
My
What
hundreds of CDs."
within this group? What is the driving factor like that drives you to buy vinyl? Like, what intrigues you by it?
For me, it's pure novelty because it's not portable. It's not whatever. I feel like when you put a record on, it's got to be like, we're going to sit and listen to this. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
different. It's like, because even before vinyl kind of made its big comeback, when we would just buy stuff at the thrift store, kind of, it's $1, it's fun. Like that, I just think that's, and there's
the
certain,
adventure.
It
Yes.
sounds different. There's
Yes.
no doubt that it's got a different sound.
Yes.
There's a certain warmth to it. And even the crackle, I know some people are like, that's interference, but there's a familiarity that reminds me of like yesteryear, and there's a connection. And there's something as dorky as it sounds. There's something where it's like, I know it's like an actual like analog wave pressed into wax that's going through the needle and going right to my ear. It's not just ones and zeros. And that's so fucking stupid. But it gives me the tingles.
This is where Gary gets romantic.
I was gonna say, right?
There's kind of like a ritual aspect to it as well. Like you don't just press play on a computer. Like you take the time to physically
No,
go
and
place it. And
I mean, and that's really my argument for physical media in general is like the way people, I don't know. And I realize it's not so much the digital era changing everyone. It's more like I've always been a person who like bought movies that I liked. So even when we all had VHS, people were like, you have more VHS than I do. So it's still that. It's just now everyone's like, you still buy CDs? I'm like, yep, because when Apple decides to take your music away, I still have my CDs.
Right. Right. And that's one thing I've said in the past too, is it's not necessarily the format, it's the copyright and the licensing.
Yes.
When you own the physical media, you own a copy of it.
Yes.
And that is something that's awesome. Matter of fact, our pal Christopher Nolan was just saying, go out and buy
Yeah.
the Blu-ray.
Buy
Don't
the
stream
Blu-rays.
it, buy the Blu-ray of my movies, because that way you have it.
Well, yeah, because like, I can't think of what company, but one of them is taking away a bunch of movies that people have bought digitally. They're just gonna do away with it, and people are freaking out. And I don't want to be like, I told you so, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
bad
troubling.
for you, but this is what I've been saying all along, even before.
I mean, it was a shift for what worked best for the corporate owners, not for the individuals.
Sure. Yep.
But anyway.
I like how our conversations just naturally flow to little tangents.
But
makes me
it's
happy.
it's so true. It's like the digital revolution mostly was because it was so much cheaper for the execs, and that way they could just really screw over. I don't remember who the band was, but there was a band that was talking about this, and they were saying how, you can listen to a song and it can have such an impact on you, and you might listen to it once a month, but it's like your favorite song and it just hits you deep. But while you're working out or whatever, you'd rather stream Taylor Swift or something poppy. That doesn't mean Taylor Swift means more to you, but from a Spotify point of view, Taylor Swift is getting billions more than this one band, because that song you only listen to like once a month. Back in the day when we all bought albums, they would have gotten paid the same,
Right. Yeah.
but now they don't. So
Yeah.
I totally get it. It's not fair. It's not set up right. But that's maybe a whole nother episode.
Right.
Okay, so I will move on. Next up, this is out for Carl. April 4th, Finland officially joined NATO, becoming the 31st member of the Security Alliance. Do we have any proud Finns in the room?
Well, I'm as Finn as you can get as far as being an American hybrid. But no, it's really cool just to, I honestly, that's one of the things I was watching the news the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Glad Finland stood up because honestly, they could be in danger.
Right.
But
No, I'm glad they joined. I
Yeah.
mean, not that I am like personally in NATO. Well, I mean, we all are, I guess.
yes, we are.
But I say good for them. I was.
Yeah, I mean, the Swedish Air Force and the Finnish military is a good combo to have in NATO, in the alliance. So,
Not to mention the Swedish chef.
That's exactly what I was thinking. When he said Swedish and then stopped for a second, I was like, chef?
Okay. Next up, I've got April 20th. SpaceX's Starship rocket explodes 4 minutes after its first test flight. I put this down because this was the first spaceship exploding that I was excited about.
Hooray!
You know who else was excited that day?
Who?
Stoners.
Yeah?
It was 420.
Probably blew some minds.
Whoa. Well, Elon Musk can suck it.
when it's purely,
He probably can't. I don't think his lips are his own anymore, so he probably can't suck it.
Oh, okay.
Probably like,
I wish I had that video for the TikTok.
I guess
all
I made a
these
looking
are
face.
all these that he's doing are unmanned. They're not like
Oh,
Right,
correct.
right.
No, that's the only reason I was happy. No one died. It was unmanned. And they were actually like, well, we got a lot of good data before it blew up. So, I mean, they called it a win. And you know what? In all due respect for engineering, when you have something fail, but you know why, it is a win. It's a huge win. So, I mean, that's great and all. I just... I hate how much NASA is in debt to SpaceX right now.
well, and that's the
Private person should have that much control over government stuff.
Yeah, it's the paradigm though right now because of NASA funding and private investment.
Oh, I know. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm torn on it because if it's advancing the science, good, but yeah, it should not be privatized.
No.
NASA should be getting the funding they need.
Right. Well, for all those familiar with the Apollo project, that whole thing, it was estimated because part of the deal was anything that they developed, any technology that was developed for NASA for the Apollo missions, it would become public. It would go back to other people. So for every $1 spent on the Apollo program, they estimate it generated $11 back. So I mean, it was
just a huge economic boom, and
Right.
and just the quality of life enhancements, all the things that have trickled down to our everyday lives,
Yeah.
from NASA research. I mean, it's just wild.
because like the cameras that they developed for their spacecrafts, that's the stuff that ended up being cameras and cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit didn't exist before them. So I love it. Once we privatize it, all those innovations, Elon Musk owns them and not the American people. And I think that's awful. But again, that could be a whole nother episode. Okay. I got one here for Amanda. April 29th. Legendary country music star Willie Nelson had his 2-day music festival concert for his 90th birthday.
I'm still sad we didn't get to go.
I know.
It was so
But
good.
shout out to Willie
Did you-
Nelson because he's... Oh, go ahead.
Interesting Courtney fact, but did you guys know that my dad actually cooked once for Willie Nelson?
What?
Come on.
Yes.
Amanda did not know
Did.
that.
What the what?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
why
he
is
was
he
up
not
at
telling
Big
that?
Top Chautauqua.
Jesus Christ.
And they hired my dad to make Willie Nelson a dinner.
What did he
And
make? And why is he not telling us this? Why are
I'll
we
tell you
not
what.
gathered around a record player with Willie Nelson songs,
I know,
hearing about
right?
what he ate?
I think Dad made him
Weed brownies. Weed brownies.
what?
Weed brownies.
No, that would have been great though.
Well, that is what
I'd
Willie
love
would
to
Presented
my
want.
dad
himself for
make
the
that.
naked lady sushi.
Yeah. Well, apparently Dad made like this really elaborate dinner, and the only thing that he ate was the baked potato. So my dad was a little like
What?
offended. Like, really?
Oh, Willie.
The potato.
He's a simple man.
I'll tell you, a couple years ago,
Maybe he needed the weed brownie first.
I was reading how many artists
Did he?
really like performing in Wisconsin, why they continue to come back for all the summer festivals. It doesn't matter, county fair, little town, whatever.
Is it the cheese curds?
I think it's the food and hospitality.
Yeah.
Like,
I will
think
tell you,
it really is.
I will tell you, not really fair related, but when I worked for a certain food establishment that has ice cream type desserts and cheese curds, and they're kind of famous for it. The band Great White came in one night.
Ooh.
And like they were just so excited to have these like delicious milkshakes, and they were so nice and friendly. And of course, only me and like the other adult working there was like, I know who this is. All the kids were like, oh, whatever. They were like on their way
That's
through
sad.
for some concert or something, and it was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
That's when you go, cool things like this are wasted on the youth. you know.
Sometimes, definitely.
But yeah, it was good. And our favorite group,
Nathaniel Rateliff
yep, he played for him.
and the Night Sweats.
And
Oh my God.
they're amazing.
That would be a fun party.
It would have been.
Right?
So I was happy he did it. Because, I mean, what if you make it to 90, you're still performing? Throw yourself a party.
I'm going to perform when I'm 90.
Yeah, you should.
I don't know what, but something.
Got some time to work on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Courtney will have a baked potato waiting for you.
Thank you.
Right?
Oh, perfect.
Uh-huh.
So next up, I got May 2nd. That was the start of the strike for the writers, the writer strike on the labor disputes. I just wanted to throw that out because I was going through the whole solidarity thing with them just because I'm a fake writer with a fake, well, it's a real podcast, but I'm not a real writer. But I
Do you write?
Could you say
well, I mean,
burgeoning?
I write down things,
Then you're a writer.
I guess.
I'm going to perform when we're 90, so why can't you be a writer now?
Right?
Okay. All right.
Two of my team members were talking today about how excited that their shows were coming back, and I know in some of our group chats recently we were talking about favorite shows coming back. I was struck by, I think, the balance of that. Like, people now are, excited about their shows coming back and how some of these shows are pretty impactful to their lives, or they bring joy to them.
Sure.
Especially people that stream and binge and watch, season after season. So that was kind of cool, but I was glad to see most people were down with this one. Like, it goes back to our digital, idea of who's getting money and who's not getting money,
Right.
and are people getting their fair share? And now this AI element, like, we're already to the point where it's creeping in, but how do we protect it in the future? And we don't know what AI is going to do for us.
Right. That's
Right
very
now.
true. Yeah. So I'm in an industry right now that's like really involved with AI, and it's crazy the good it can do.
Yeah.
In the medical field, it's going to make huge differences. Like, so many lives are going to be saved by this. But with anything with that much power, it depends on whose hands it's in.
Yeah, there's a flip side to it.
Yeah, and it's scary. I've listened to recordings that I know are AI generated voices, and you can't tell anymore. It's gross, and at the same time thrilling.
It is exciting.
It's cool that a human got to the point where they could do that, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, oh man.
But when you get down to the facts of everything in life, right? Like in this case scenario too, of saying artistry and
right,
creators and
Mental health care.
like healthcare, like whole healthcare that includes mental health care.
Like, they don't need to talk to an actual person. They'll just put in their problem into an AI thing and see what the answer is. And it seems
Yep.
legit, but somehow it misses some nuances.
Yeah.
that's true.
So it's good to see that people fought for access, and it was good to see multi-millionaire and powerful people really get it. They really got it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what the auto industry strikes this summer. I think those CEOs still seem like they're so out of touch with what's going on.
yeah, and that's a big thing why I put it down. Like the writers thing, I feel as somebody that produces what I would consider art, you guys might consider trash. Not you guys, but those out there. You just feel for them. They're fighting for their livelihood, but also, yeah, the whole AI thing. Somebody had to make a stand, and I'm glad they did it.
I think a happy side effect of that as a football fan is that they broadcast games on ABC Monday nights.
Isn't that crazy?
Because otherwise it's on ESPN. And that's always been kind of a sore spot for me is, all the money that goes to the public money that goes to stadiums and stuff. I think that at least your home games should be broadcast. So I thought that was nice.
Well, when I lived in Green Bay, they actually had a law where even if it was on ESPN or NFL Network, one local affiliate got to stream it. So when I lived in Green Bay, I got to see all the games, and that was cool. But I get what you mean. But didn't they do it this last week where one was on ABC and one was on ESPN?
Yeah,
They
two
did do
games,
some kind of simulcast thing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very
But it was probably nice because those in the local region probably got, like we did, because we got the Packer game.
Yeah.
And the other game was the Miami game. So I bet
Is that something they're going to be doing from here on out? Is that like a thing
maybe
now?
I don't know.
2 Monday night games?
They just announced the next 2028 Super Bowl today, and they said it's going to be in LA, and that is going to be on ESPN. But once again, that's different than a regular game.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Well, I'll invite you over to my house to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure that day. You're all invited. That's our tradition.
That's a deep cut to the history of Gary and Ryan.
We had a Super Bowl party and we got together, and I think we did watch some of the Super Bowl commercials, but we watched Pee-wee's
because
Big
your
Adventure.
mom was having people over.
Yeah.
Because this was in high school. So we went upstairs and watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but we ate a lot of the food that.
Oh, it was good. It was a good time. All right, we'll scoot to the next one. I had May 25th. The FDA gave Elon Musk the go-ahead to trial his Neuralink brain implants on humans. That somehow slipped by my radar. I didn't know that the FDA approved things to go in your head.
I just saw something that some of the data that's being uncovered with some of the trials with primates were not great. So I think they're trying to reel some of that in now.
Ooh,
I didn't read it in depth, but yeah, it didn't sound good.
I'll have to look into that more.
Isn't it interesting, though, the thought of, and I know we don't want to get political, but I'm going to say it. People are so worried about putting stuff in their body are the same people that would be willing to put this guy's chip in their body.
See, I don't think that's a
Well,
political statement.
you know.
But you're right, because everybody turns everything goddamn political now. But, Carl, you fucking say that. Yeah.
He just did.
He just did.
Oh, yeah, and it made me happy. All right, June 16th, the rules for the Grammy Awards were updated to restrict AI-generated songs. Woohoo! Another win for AI being shut down.
Not shut down, just not being able to run amok.
Yeah, not being good. That's a great way of pointing it. June 18th, the Ocean Gate Titan submarine imploded during an expedition to the wreck of the Titanic. Sad note, but I never expected so many people to be happy about a submarine imploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like,
It's
making
not-
light
it's-
of the loss of life, it's just that's in bad taste, I think. I think you can criticize like the massive expenditure and effort that went into recovery and investigation, but
But then when you find out too, like it was like a video game controller was controlling the sub thing, and so some of the stuff is not like I'm happy you died. It's more like
What were you thinking?
what were you thinking? You know,
yeah, unchecked
what do you
hubris
think
by
would
the
happen? Yes,
Right. I have no time for unchecked hubris. That's a really good way of putting it. Right. Yeah, it's a sad thing.
There is a thought too now. You know, should anyone we've explored this wreck enough at this point. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are saying we should leave it untouched.
Yeah. I mean,
We've-
it's a graveyard.
Yeah,
It's somebody's resting place. I'm with you.
I'm kind of leaning that way more now. I think I did have the curiosity of everything, and like, but at this point, I'm comfortable with moving on.
Yeah, I can see expeditions.
Are you saying
to
it's
map
time
it,
to let
but-
go, Jack? It's time to let go.
It really is. I mean, I could have bought, you know, a $250,000 menu from Sotheby's this last couple of weeks if I wanted one, but
you could have.
I'm
Wait
holding
a
out.
minute. Wait a minute. How did I not know about this stash?
But ultimately, like, don't we have enough artifacts? Don't we have enough memories? And it's time.
Yeah. No, I'm all for history,
And-
but there's comes to a point where you just let it be.
I'm not going to risk my life for it anymore either.
No kidding. Next up, I've got July 21st. We've got the release of Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I think they were awesome movies.
You saw Oppenheimer?
The quiet head shake was adorable.
Did any of us see Oppenheimer?
I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, damn it.
There either.
When I hear
Okay, I saw
Oppenheimer-
Barbie. So yeah, I suck and I didn't go see Oppenheimer, but I hear it was amazing. And I am a fan of the people who made it. So
Same.
will I see it someday? Sure. I know I'm going to see it someday. But why don't we brighten the subject and
Yeah.
talk about the Barbie side
Let's
of
go
it?
back to Barbie.
So I actually loved the movie. I did legit see it. So no, right?
In the
Right,
theater.
Amanda? Can you vouch that?
Yeah, we did see it in
okay.
the theater.
Carl saw it thrice.
Yeah.
Thrice. Ooh, and then Ryan saw it twice as well.
I know, only 2 times.
Okay, and then Jade did not see it.
No, I have not seen
Okay,
that
how
one
about our
either.
Zoom buddies? Who saw it down there?
It did not.
That's a negative.
Ooh, 2 no's. Okay, yet.
Sounds like we need to have a Barbie movie
Could we
party.
have a slumber party?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would love to do that.
I don't know why I asked permission. I own this house with me.
That's true.
That's true.
Whatever you want.
I can have all the slumber parties.
That might
We
be a
should-
little too big for the studio, but
No. We would have
We
it out.
should
yeah.
do a camping fiasco. Oh no, Ryan hates camping, doesn't he?
but it's indoors,
It's in my basement.
and we're having a Barbie themed party.
Well, I think she meant
Well, I
we
was
actually
thinking
go
like
camping.
really camping. I love me some camping.
That's true. Well, we can
It
do-
depends. Is it like a day, like overnight, and then we hang out during the day,
No,
and then we
it'll
go home?
be
That'd
like
great.
Hanukkah. It'll be 7 days.
Then I ain't coming.
Is there a toilet?
But there'll be running water and flushing toilets
Oh,
because
that's-
I will not do anything other.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's really my only requirement.
Yeah.
Then I can do like 3 days, 2 nights kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But I went into the Barbie movie expecting good stuff, but I didn't get my hopes up too high. But the good stuff was because I've heard so much good about it. And then it still exceeded my expectations. I did have a couple gripes at the end, but for the most part, I thought it was wonderfully done and incredibly entertaining.
I've heard generally good things.
Did you have green grapes or red grapes?
Well, I like
Both.
I like that it's like way back when they announced
Mhm.
they're gonna make a Barbie movie. My first thought was when I was a kid, I had like I think it was a golden book, and it was like a Barbie story, and it was like the missing wedding dress, and it was this whole thing, right? So I'm thinking it's just gonna be a movie about Barbie, like, and the characters and the whatever. And this was much more of a sociological, anthropological look at Barbie and what she means as a icon, what she means as a
Oh, yeah.
cultural touchstone for people, and how, I mean, I can't literally say every person on the planet, but every person on the planet knows what Barbie is. So it's like, and just like the different, and like that it didn't just gloss over it, like address some of the things of like beauty expectations and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that everyone in the whole world has a weird Barbie.
Yep.
Or knows someone who had a weird Barbie.
My
And-
weird Barbies were weird because of my sister.
Well, my cousin had a weird Barbie where it was just like in the movie, she chopped her hair off
Mhm.
and it was all spiky and weird. And like back then they had like a weird little wheel on the inside. That's how the leg bent.
Oh,
And
yes.
after a while, the plastic started to wear out. So like it started to poke through. So then like
Doing
she
like
ended up,
physical therapy with your Barbie?
it was an older
Let's
Barbie.
see how
That
much you
range of
can bend
motion.
today.
So eventually like the bottom part of the leg just came off. So it was like, well, so when Weird Barbie came out, I'm like, yes, that is what Weird Barbie was like.
I would love a physical therapy Barbie where that was the whole theme and it came with physical therapy stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome?
My only gripe for the movie was that the only Barbie that I had Barbies at my house, but the only Barbie that I like had my mom buy me was Miko, and she was this beautiful Hawaiian character. She had really cool, like crimped, fuzzy black hair. She was not in that movie, and I was like, where the hell is Miko?
Yeah.
Like Midge got to be in the movie.
I
Where's
had
Miko?
Midge.
Amanda had Midge.
I think that was my last gift from my godmother.
I think
I was weirded out by it.
Oh, and my mom totally had Alan.
Oh, really?
Not just my mom. Like there was Barbies at my grandma's house that were from the 60s that we had in this green mesh basket. And so like all the kids would come play with the Barbies, and
Yeah.
stuff would get mixed in there. Some like I had like Lady Lovely Locks.
Do you know what I played with at my grandma's house? She had a junk drawer that had like some random stuff, and one was like a cigarette holder thing, like those leather purse things
Oh
that
yeah,
snap.
yeah.
I played with that.
Well, you should have come over to my grandma's house and played with Barbies with me.
I wasn't
Cigarette
really
Skittles?
into Barbies.
They had a Barbie that was like not
Pretending to
Were you
smoke.
into cigarettes?
not the original Barbie, but similar to that, like still had that face sculpt with like the eyelashes and the and because it was older, like I just remember her boobs being all scraped.
Oh yeah.
After a while, they get banged up, and it was like, why are Barbie's boobs all scraped
She
up?
kept trying to get into places she didn't belong.
Well, and like the plastic of those Barbies was a little more delicate in a way than
yeah.
what we would have today. But
we might have to do a toy episode at some point.
I would like to do a toy
we do
episode.
hundreds of toy episodes if you got
Yeah.
me there.
True.
But no, I think there was so many different aspects of the movie that, I mean, it's funny to think. I just thought of one now, but I thought about the whole toy aspect of it. I thought it was really cool to do the scenes in the set like it was toy. Like that was really cool.
Zuzu?
I think that was Devin.
I do have my Exorcist hoodie on, so
That was cool, but I think the other aspect of like looking at like the world as almost like plastic and fake.
Mhm.
It's funny that we as humans we judge plastic and fake, but like looking from the other side, I think their life was a little more interesting in certain ways. And maybe it's because that was a utopian idea of what they lived in, but
I think it was also good, like just at the age like that we're at. It was like Barbie was kind of having the existential crisis that we have when we get to our like mid to late 30s, early 40s, where it's like,
Yeah.
am I really? Is the world that I thought I lived in really what I'm living in, or what's going on, and all that good, crazy, not quite midlife crisis level, but close.
Totally.
To it.
I came out at a time that was just perfect for our age. Absolutely. Because I could totally relate to it on that level and all that jazz. Any other Barbie anecdotes?
I overthought it.
The movie or just Barbie in general?
Give me
Probably all of it.
Well,
I
Amanda
don't.
smokes a lot over here.
It was cool.
That's why they had pouches to carry cigarettes in.
It was very fancy. My sister was more into Barbies, so I would just.
Ironically, she was the one that smoked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She
Wow,
should have been
how
playing
about
with the
that?
cigarette holder.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe then she wouldn't have smoked. Sorry, I love my sister. I wish she didn't smoke. She doesn't smoke now.
No.
It's fine. No, she was into Barbies, so I would just watch her play like it was like kind of like a real time like
Soap
theater
opera.
show.
Yeah.
Like
Like
it
she was
great.
performing for, like she was just playing, but for you, she
It
was
was-
performing for you.
Yeah, it was good. And then I would panic a little when she had all of the dolls and I got one, that was fine. I mean, felt a little cheated, but I was okay with it.
It's like dinner theater where you get to participate in the audience.
Yes, and it made me panicky. Like, maybe that's a start of anxiety. Whatever. Because, like, when hers would talk, I'm like, I don't know what to add. So it was just like, I just want to watch. So I wasn't really into Barbies, even when it was just my friends and I. I was just like, I don't know what to do with these. Like, whatever.
No, that's understandable.
I remember being a kid, it was like, I don't know, sometimes as a boy, you were kind of like zoned in. If you weren't really into playing the Barbie, which I just wasn't. I was more like Hot Wheels, Matchbox car kind of guy. I didn't even like. I know. I
I
wasn't
played
even like
with
G.I. Joe and
trucks.
stuff. But I remember you'd be that like kid who's like, oh, I guess I'll just brush Barbie's hair.
That's pretty much what I did.
And then you're like, after that, I will just brush this little pony's tail.
That's what I did too.
And so at some point,
Carl, you and I would have brushed all the hair.
I think that's what I was doing. I was a stylist to the neighbors. Not the
Yeah.
stars, the neighbors.
That's what I would have done. I also threw sand in my hair. So, whatever. I was one with nature.
Oh, yeah, you did. Totally.
I did.
Mhm.
I did. But anyway, so with the Barbie movie, I really overthought how they treated the Kens because I thought that wasn't fair. And I was upset that I was just upset that like they all just kind of went back to what it was without resolving anything.
Now that you mention that, I
And
felt the same way.
I know we had a lot of discussion, which is why I was very surprised when you said you loved it.
Because things are rosier after you forget about all that.
Okay.
Visually, I think they did. But I don't think maybe there could have been more to that story.
Well, and I also felt like, I don't know, because like maybe it's because we have a son. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like, well, I feel like you could have been a little nicer to Ken, like instead of I don't know. I need to rewatch it now because I can't remember all my arguments, but I had a whole lot to say about it.
I thought as much as I liked it, if you boiled it down, the gripe that I had was at no point until the very, very end was anybody fixing their problem with kindness. It was, oh, you were shitty to me, so now I'm going to be shitty to you. And then, oh, you were shitty to me just now, so now I'm going to be shitty to you, which in respect
Well,
is real life.
Well, and that's
But
where
it was supposed to
reflection.
be idealistic.
Art
Yeah.
is reflection.
Like I really wanted the end to be like, great, we all have like
yeah.
equal power and we get along, and it was like what it was supposed to be, but
But
it still wasn't. And I was like, oh.
Isn't that so? That's like your modern fairy tale ending, right? Like
Yeah.
having it perfect and at peace. And
I wanted it to be that because it was freaking Barbie. but new. So I'll stick with my trucks and my sand.
That's fair. All right, we'll move on. September 27th, the writer's strike was over.
Yay!
And my brother turned, God, how old? 26?
Yay!
And that's a lot of our friends' wedding anniversaries. Because
Yay!
it's literally the night of our anniversary.
Whoa!
It was our 21st anniversary.
Oh my! Yay! Your relationship can drink alcohol. Oh boy! And buy cigarettes.
We've made big deals about when it was like, oh, our relationship can vote.
But what was the day again?
September 27th.
Okay, what else happened that day?
The writer's strike
The
ended.
writer's strike. They were gifting you the
They
gift
were.
of entertainment
See,
for your
that's
next
true.
year of
And almost immediately, Night Court started production again.
Yay!
That was an article I read. It was like
Which-
the shows that are the first shows to start again now that the...
That is a good thing about show. Like, I think too, going back to like team members being excited about shows. I think as couples and individuals, couples share shows. Sometimes a partner gets into a show.
Gary started baking because of the show.
So
Yay!
I think that's cool.
The Great British Bake Off.
Oh, yeah. I started baking because of that. It was all about, they were making
Wine jelly.
wine jelly.
Mhm.
And I was watching it. I'm like, I can do that. And Ian's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, I can do that. So I looked up a recipe and I did it. And it was delicious.
And I suppose, this strike happening during a summer when, especially our age group, we're used to reruns and live entertainment like during the summer, games and variety shows and
We
all that
saw
other
the
stuff.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of worked out.
They had good timing.
For all those in the room who were wondering what the hell I'm doing, for some reason my eyes weren't focusing, and the only way I could put it is, you remember those magic eye puzzles that we all? Everything looked like that. It was weird. They're still kind of funky. I think it's the lighting in here. It's just too much LED.
How funky is your chicken?
Almost as loose as my goose.
Oh.
Did you have the
That's
magic
alarming.
brownie that Uncle Don made?
I might have.
It was for Willie, but I stole it.
It's getting better now. Okay.
I bet the reason why Willie never ate his prime rib was because I don't really know the dental situation on Willie Nelson that is in his 90s now.
He made prime rib for him?
Yeah.
I think I missed that earlier. Oh my god.
You can eat.
I
steak
honestly
with no
couldn't think
teeth.
of the word prime rib at the time.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
It happens to me a lot
All
with-
that I was
with-
thinking, it was like, oh, it's a big hunk of meat, but I couldn't think of what it was.
I bet he could eat it without teeth.
Or maybe just, he's lived in Texas his entire life and he's like, I've had enough meat.
That's
That could be it.
that could be it. Yeah.
Maybe he had what? See, now I'm forgetting a word again. What
it
is
your
that?
COVID?
What old people get in their hinges?
It's COVID fog.
The
Arthritis? Oh, the gout. Not just old
Maybe he had the
people.
Not
gout.
just old people.
Not just old people. Carl Mackey has the gout.
Do you really? Oh, I love it.
That's a public service announcement
Are you
for
okay with your HIPAA information like that?
stressed adults that are in their 40s if they're male. Typically, yeah, you're susceptible to it, and women in their 50s.
Of course.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it has to
I
do with
just have to
hereditary
say-
and your stress levels, and not actually,
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, indeed.
not eating lobster and
How do
drinking
you-
wine all the time.
How do you know it's gout?
You will know.
Well, because like last week I was really achy, but I just
It'll
assume
be
it's from like
it'll be
the weather.
Typically, it'll be pinpointed to one specific joint.
Oh no,
Carl's
all
is
my
his big
joints.
toe.
My big toe.
Oh shit!
But people have it in their knees,
Do you wear
elbows, hands.
orthopedic shoes?
There's nothing that won't help.
No? Okay.
could you get
It's
some?
it's like a
though?
crystallization
Just for
of
the style.
So lunch ladies are liars?
yeah.
At least the Adam Sandler variety.
The only thing you can take is you have to take medication that's prescribed, and it breaks it up.
I was gonna say.
It works
So
immediately
like
though.
kidney stones?
No, I think it just breaks it up and dissolves into your body.
Nice.
You don't have to.
I just love painting the picture in my brain of these 40-year-old men that all went to see the Barbie movie by themselves with no children, with the gout and everything. I just painted this beautiful picture, and I love it. I love it.
Well, it's funny. I wonder how many men seriously thought, "Gosh, I guess all I do is talk about trucks." Like,
Yeah.
I really
I don't think those men went to the movie.
no, they
Probably
didn't,
not.
unless they took the kids. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think they would.
I really like the line when he says, "What was it?"
I really thought the patriarchy was more just about horses.
Right. That was hilarious. And I will say this, too. In all fairness, like to balance it out, I feel like they gave Ken the best song and dance number.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's a banging soundtrack.
Yeah.
That CD has not
No,
left my car.
all of it was awesome.
Yeah.
But, for that, for us saying, well, hey, it wasn't fair to Ken, at least he got like the best dance number.
I think the point of that whole Ken thing is though that like some of the people who get sucked into the patriarchy aren't necessarily bad people.
Oh, true.
They just get misguided. And then their behavior sucks, and then they get viewed as like the villain. But sometimes it's like the patriarchy hurts everybody. See, everybody suffers.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. True. Any other 2023 goodness, guys?
We started this podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
all kind of. It's funny when people ask me the premise or what we talk about. I think it's interesting. Like the description online is pretty darn accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate everyone who was involved in writing all of that because it was so difficult to explain, but it's just because how do you just go, it's just craziness. It's a bunch of crazy sons of bitches being nuts. That's kind of what it is.
If we were that big group table at a restaurant, I would be curious to know what we're all talking about.
Yeah.
I observe.
Yeah.
Just
like
like Barbies.
That's right.
But we'll do something right at the end where we reminisce a little bit about this being born and whatnot.
You know what else happened?
What
in
else?
2023? I turned 40, and every person in this room came to my party,
Yeah.
and some people who aren't in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I got to wear
good
my
time.
1998 softball jacket.
and your butterfly clips.
Yes. Oh,
we
it was
went
fantastic.
with a Nickelodeon theme, and I realized because of all the work I put into doing it that I'm gonna have to have more Nickelodeon parties because I did way more stuff than just one party's worth. Like, so be ready, y'all.
we just
Decorations
popped the
were on
balloons
point.
last week.
We did.
The
The
balloons
balloons
are-
were still out there. Like,
Ooh.
since September.
it's pretty amazing.
That's all right. I don't know how long that tree's going to be in my living room. It doesn't have ornaments, so it can be anytime.
So anyway,
I have a confession.
let's hear it.
I realized that you put me on mute for a while, and I'm so used to hearing these noises, but it dawned on me, I think you were hearing my damn dog
Probably.
making like Chewbacca noises. Is that what you were hearing?
That's what it was.
I don't know what it was, but
Did it sound like Chewbacca?
I mean,
It
kind
sounded
of.
like a demon. That's why it was
Yeah.
when said Pazuzu.
Definitely Savona then. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
so
okay.
used to it, I never thought twice of it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Huh. Sorry.
No,
She
no,
made her
no.
little cameo.
No, it got bad, so I just muted, but that's all good.
Thank you for listening to Wicker Biscuit, a Podcast Ahoy production. The producers of Wicker Biscuit are Ryan LeMay, Gary Putnam, and Courtney Holub. Executive producer is Gary Putnam. Recording and editing was done by Gary Putnam. Check out our social media for updates on upcoming pods and for clips and other media referenced in this episode. Because sharing is caring, the links can be found in the episode note. Check it out! Thanks again from everyone at the Wicker Biscuit family.